idea some more. All right, let's wrap up with my guilty pleasure control deck, shall we? We are gonna play some Rainroot control, which I am 11 and 10 with. I don't know if this deck is super good, but it's a super fun. So this is a control deck that generates card advantage in two very unique ways. The first is with its path here, Rainbow's End, which says at the end of your turn, if the top card of your deck is an enchantment, you draw it. So this deck has 20 enchantments in it. So this deck is 50% to draw an extra card with Rainbow's End at the end of your turn. The second way we generate card advantage in this deck is with its other namesake, Root of the World. So this card says, minions on this enchantment can pay 1 to cycle that minion to the bottom of your deck and then draw the next minion in your deck. We combine this with our hero power, which lets us create a 1/1 for 3 to pay 4 to basically turn our hero power into pay 4, draw a minion. And what Root of the World also does is once we clear out a lot of the creatures out of our deck, we're able to loop through the same creature over and over again. So you can loop Twin Blanque, you can loop Sapo the Devourer, you can loop Armageddon Angel to keep wrathing the board. So we get these really powerful effects that are like mythics that generally you're only supposed to get once per game, but Root of the World lets us get multiple of them per game. Let's go ahead and dive on in to a match with this one and see how it goes. This one generates longer games, so I've got like another half hour, 45 minutes to stream, which will probably only be 2 games with this deck. If we're winning. If we get run over, it'll be faster than that. But if we're winning, these are like 15, 20-minute games. Oh, necklace is a suggestion someone made last time that I should probably give a try to. Should probably try and fit necklace in here. I agree with that suggestion. I'm not going to put brain power into it today, though. So burn. You want to prioritize burning your enchantments in this deck because they burning your enchantments gives you a better chance to redraw enchantments with your power later. Why doesn't Bemante hang out anymore? He did get an office job like a schlep. That is exactly what happened to Matt. So this little guy starts with 1 energy, and every time it moves, they gain an energy. And then when it dies, they gain 1 temporary resource for every 1 energy, for every 2 energy it had. So, I'm gonna burn misanthropia here, and I'm gonna spend this coin to play the serpent den out, I think. So this is an enchantment that says you get a 1/1 when it comes into play, and at the beginning of your turn, if this is empty, you get another 1/1. Alright, so I want to play Sandscape here. So I'm going to go ahead and burn off the Secret Keeper, I think. Yeah, let's burn off him. Sandscape deploys deserts on either side, and deserts here say whenever an enemy minion attacks one of these lanes, my opponent takes 1. I don't really care about my opponent taking 1 from attacking these lanes, but the upside that these deserts give is that in addition to drawing the top card of my deck at end of turn if it's an enchantment, this says whenever you replace an enchantment with another enchantment, you get resources back. So these deserts basically give me extra resources down the line. I also have some cards like oil fields here that say if this replaces a desert enchantment, I gain 1 maximum mana. So I get a bonus for deploying it over a desert. What's the color rule for burning in this game? When you burn a card, you get 1 permanent resource, and then you get 1 gem of that card's color. So next turn, this is going to create a snake here, which is great. I do not have a strict tutorial for this game up yet. Unlike a lot of games, the actual in-game tutorial for this game is really good. So I'd recommend just loading it up and playing the tutorial. I don't need 2 Root of the World, so I'm going to burn one of those off here. I'm going to go ahead and play Oil Field out here, which increases my maximum resources by 1. So I permanently have 1. You'll notice I have 5 total resources for next turn, but I only have 4 gems. One of the things that's really interesting is that when you ramp like this, you can actually get past 10 resources, so you can burn up to 10 cards. But if you have other things that ramp you, you can get higher than that. Yeah, Hex didn't have a very good in-game tutorial though, Jin. That was not one of its strong suits. That game did a number of things well. Having a tutorial was not one of them. All right, so I'm going to slide this over so that way next turn I can get another snake. I think I'm going to burn Rune of Denial here, which puts me up to 6. I'm going to deploy Serpent's Den. I want to move this over. I'm going to deploy Serpent's Den here, which gives me 1 resource back. So you can see I now have 4 resources and 2 blue gems left. And then I'm going to thunderclap here, which kills both their mazes and makes these weaker. So let's do that. Scion of the Bride is super sweet. I agree. So in general, when you're playing this deck, you want 3 yellow, 2 blue, and then 3 yellow, 3 orange, 2 blue, and then your remaining 2 gems are some mix of the other ones, depending on what cards you have to burn when. This comes in and stuns my snake. Rude. Start of my turn. Snakes will pop up here and here. Alright, so I can't deploy the twins yet because I don't currently have a third... what's it called? A third yellow. I think I want to burn Sandscape to get another orange here. I'm going to put Root of the World here, which is free except for the gems that cost me because I was placing a 2-mana enchantment. I think I'm going to go ahead and Cobblejack onto here and then cash this in for a real card. And that's a heck of a real card for later. So this will allow me to deal 2 damage to all enemy minions, which is sick. I'm going to play Eager Recruit out here. Spend, and then cash this in for another bigger unit here, hopefully. There's a Sapo, which is sweet. And let's deploy the Parasite Recruit here. And pass the turn. And look at that. We drew an enchantment at the end there. Sweet. So I have 2 yellow cards here, so I can burn one of these next turn and then play the other potentially. It also might be profitable to play Magnus out, which deals 2 damage to all enemy minions when it comes into play, depending on what the board state looks like once my opponent's turn finishes. Yeah, we need to be conscious while we're playing that my opponent is playing the Volition 1-turn kill deck. So I do want to try and make sure my board is well populated and spread out so they can't, like, surprise pop in and, like, 20 us out of nowhere. Ideally, I would like to try and find one of my copies of Beimeni Falls so I can start deploying units onto it and gain a bunch of life.
Covering fire.
That is a 5/5 with armor. That's pretty good. It does have overrun as well. Yep. Goliath's web's not bad. Removes agile, alpha strike, and then has deadly. I mean, thorsson here kills 2 of their things, so that's probably fine. Move the snake over, cash him in. Yep. So, get an angel, destroys all their minions when she comes into play. Now, it might be wrong to do this because now get an angel is exposed for a turn. So if they have a removal spell, they can kill her and then I can't loop her back into the deck to have her later. It might have also been right to play Demolition Speedway over this oil field so that way I gain extra resources back to cycle her back in this turn. There's a ton of little micro decisions with this deck like that. Like, this play here, not being able to cycle her back in, could lose me this game 30 turns from now. I built this deck on a budget when I first started playing, but it had no mythics, so it was just mill yourself deck. Yep. So I've got my triple orange. Probably want some more green here. I assume they're going to stun my angel here. I don't think I can use root under a stun. Wait, can I? I think I can, because it's the ability of the enchantment, right? I think I can, because it's not an action on the unit. Let's find out. I'm pretty sure we can. Nope. No, the minion has the ability. Yep. All right. The more you know. Oh, occupying minion has, sure. All right, so we're gonna lose this next turn, which kind of sucks. Put my demolition speedway over here. Put the twin there. Pass. Yeah, free hits there. Sweet. There's the Beimeni Falls. So this enchantment says whenever you create a minion in it, you gain 2 life. So we can start buffering our health total up here, which is great. That's super strong. Bald Mountain there. Oh, they had it deported. So I knew that was coming. We have our Rune of Denial here, which is going to suppress this and destroy this, which is great. They're going to get back one of their spells here, so I assume we'll see them pick back up Wake the Bones. They don't have that many cards in hand here, and I've got a ton in mind. This deck just, like, outcards most other things, which is great. I'm up to 2 Rune of Denials in this build, which I've been pretty happy with. This card's super powerful. Slide this over here so we can get another one next turn. Rune of Denial here, which clears that out and gets rid of the text on this. I'm going to slide this over and draw another minion here. Pretty happy to... I guess that's free. It's free real estate, chat. Because while oil field is occupied, my minions cost 1 less. So, like, get a freebie, cash this in, draw a card. I'm going to burn that one. It does cost me a gem still.
Do we have a mission?
So I have 2 orange here. So I'm going to create this one here so I gain 2. And then I can create this one here using my last orange gem. And then I still have a resource so I can cycle this back into my deck to draw a real card. A real card. Smack you in the face for 5. Much longer am I streaming for today? Probably another half hour or so. I think my plan is to play this game and 1 more. Are we dead to 10 times 2? They can't 10 times 2 us. They only have 9 resources. The 10 costs 7 and Volition costs 2. So getting rid of the Bald Mountain so Volition doesn't have its cost reduced is a big deal. The 2 viewer submitted decks we played were okay. This one's been a pretty good set so far. But I'm also super biased because I love this deck. Wake of the Bones, pick your favorite guy back up. Guy or gal. Yep, there's a Harvester. Them burning a Volition there to just kill my twin is super good for us. Alright, so they're at 20. Or at 22. I can slide this over here, which makes the rest of my stuff cheaper. I think I probably just want to burn the Scion as my last orange. I think I'm going to twin here. And then I cash this in to get another thing back out of my deck. Hey, look, there's the Scion. Can play this here and gain some life. Still have a bunch of resources left. I guess I just play Magnus in here, which kills their thing, and then I can cash him back in to get another unit out of my deck. Sounds great. And if I would have found orange guys, I could have deployed orange guys. Is the Lasher deck your favorite Serpent Den deck so far? You mean this deck? I'm not sure what you mean by Lasher. I mean, this is a Serpent Den deck, and this is probably my favorite deck in the game, so... I really feel like with 10 gems, can you burn cards? You cannot. So you're locked into the gems you have. So it's definitely something that you want to think about when you're sequencing. We have Sapo to blow that one up. I'm gonna stun my 5/4, sure. Uh, 10 cards in hand is the limit. How often does this deck work? I mean, I've won over 50% of my games with this deck. I've also only played like 20 games with it. When I played Sapo until you've seen a Traitor's Murmur. No, I think that's fine. I think it's not a big deal. I have Scion of the Pride here. Only have 3 resources left. I could sandscape to generate extra resources here, which is appealing. So if I sandscape here, I get +2 resources. Which means I can't make my minions cheaper, but also like making the minions cheaper doing that. Running that trick back, like, isn't that big of a deal. I think I'm going to go ahead and Scion of the Pride here and then cycle him into my deck to draw a unit out. There's other beimeni falls, sure. I'll probably put falls here, and that way I can create units here and then slide them over to the root of the world to cycle them back in right away. Man, this deck would take forever to play in like a tournament with like best of 3. Misanthrope, everything gets -3/-3 every turn. Yep. Deal. Sure. This is a token anyways, right? Yep. Alright, so let's beimeni falls here, which is effectively free. Let's hit you for 5. Let's play runesinger here. Game 2. Do I need another? I kind of want another serpent's den, huh? I think that's fine. I don't need demolition speedway. Let's throw that back. I don't know exactly what else I want to deploy. I don't think I want to deploy another big unit out in case they have another misanthropia. Let's put this here and cycle this back into my deck.
Reporting.
Just endless card advantage. Let's put this over here, put this one here and pass back. And like, even if my opponent has a sweeper here, like my hand is just like full of gas. They've played 1 misanthropia, so they probably have a second copy of this. If I had to venture a guess. This is my favorite deck at Mythgard right now. It really does a good job of like highlighting a lot of the unique things about deck building in this game. Which I think is sweet. The both enchantments and the path doing something super relevant is great. Yes, rarity impacts how many copies of a card you can have in your deck, and on each card's art, the number of dots in the upper right hand corner dictate they dictate how many of that card you can have. So like 4 dots is a common, 1 dot's a mythic, etc. They're down to 9. I can let this attack again and do 4, 5, 6. Are they dead? I think they're dead, right? Because I can Pride a Palace here. And then go 4. And then give a minion Frenzy. To let it attack again. And then I have Thunderclap for an extra 2 here as well. So the multicolored cards in this game will have a specific color line down the middle of them, and whatever color that line is will dictate what you get for burning it, which gem. It's like, this deck was really good for finishing both of those missions. Let's collect our bounty, and then play one more. this hand kind of sucks. We'll start by burning Root of the World. Again, you always want to prioritize burning your enchantments back in first. That gives them a better chance to get more enchantments to the top of your deck. When you burn a card, it guaranteed does not go to the very top of your deck, but it could be 2 down. So again, prioritizing burning enchantments early is ideal. Play Beimeni Falls in the middle. Ideally, when you're positioning your early enchantments in this deck, you want to try and make sure you leave up at least one section of 3 lanes next to each other that don't have any enchantments in them, because Sandscape specifically wants to have a room of 3 to deploy it and on either side of it. So if you like put your first enchantment here and your second like in another bad spot, you won't get full value from it, which is not ideal. I'm going to put Serpent's Den over here, so I get a snake, and then we'll be prioritize leaving these open over here for a bit until we find a Sandscape. Yeah, the fact that the overlay is like done in-house and shows it as well. Oh, you can see the full art there too? I didn't know that. That's so sick. How did I never notice the little magnifying glass before? That's excellent. Why is all the technology in this game so good, chat? Why is it all so well done? I'm not used to this. It's scary, chat. This currently has 3 energy, so I probably want to give them the clap next turn. So that way, they only gain 1 extra from this. And I think I'm going to slide this over here, so that way this can be empty next turn, so I can get another free snake. Hey, look, there's the Sandscape we've been waiting for. Perfect. You can download a client through Steam. You can also play it in the web browser. If you had broadband internet, the web browser version will work fine for you. Gosh, I'd be really sad if they updated and added a memory leak. That would be mighty magic of them. Let's burn an orange card and drop the Sandscape over here. Putting Root of the World right next to the Serpent's Den is great, because that way you can slide the snakes over and cash them in. The Zoella's here is a little bit worrying. You just can blight a minion every turn, so it's killing my snakes. And then it eventually gives them a really strong effect. So I'm going to need to kill this eventually. Soma Oasis says if you cast this to replace a desert, you get to draw a card. It also gives the minion created it invulnerable until end of turn, which is great. So we'll be drawing at a minimum 2 cards next turn, because we're going to deploy this Oasis, among other things. It's a feature. I don't even know. I would be surprised if any of the arena devs claimed that's a feature. That'd be exceptionally silly. That's a sapo, huh? All right. So next turn we can sapo potentially. So I want to burn the Serpent's Den because I need the 3rd green anyways. If I play this here, it costs me 3, but it gives me 1 back because I'm deploying it on top of a 1-drop. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy this here. And then, ooh, that's a bragi. That might change things. I was going to play this here and then cash it in. Now, I probably don't want this to get blighted, right? So, yeah, so I'm just going to stick to the plan. We're going to Cobblejack here and then cash him in for a minion. Perfect. Go. Then this doesn't have anything to do yet, and next turn I'll get to deploy Sapo on this lane and destroy this. Now, ideally, I want to draw an orange card next turn, because I want more orange thresholds in my deck, or when I'm burning. If I don't draw an orange card, I'm probably going to burn the Demolition Speedway because it's the worst card in my hand. But I'm not super stoked to get a third blue gem. Ideally, you want more orange and more yellow in this deck, because that's the base of the deck. In the late game, you want to be like playing more of those cards in the same turns. Alright, I'm fine burning a yellow card here, I think. Although that's really good to just, like, make a freebie next turn. Yeah, I'm going to burn the demolition speedway. So Sapo drops here, kills their thing, gains me 2. And then, if they can't get rid of this next turn, Sapo can slide on into something more comfortable and cycle back in with the root of the world. I did not realize that the twins work with the opponent's twins. That's kind of sweet. Yes, that makes sense. It doesn't say you have to have your twin. Rekindling Phoenix EDF. Yeah, that sounds hot. So this card's actually quite challenging for us to deal with because it has warded, so like my destroy effects don't work on it. Oh, that's perfect. Have a 4/4. Oh, should I have deployed this here so I could tuck it? Yeah, probably. Just gonna cycle this clay effigy to gain 3, basically. Ooh, that's a good pickup, too. And then we hit a Goliath web. Sick. We did kind of just elk their thing. It turns it into a 4/4. That's notably a spirit, and this doesn't take damage from spirits, which is nice. So, assuming they don't kill my 4/4 here in the middle, my play next turn is probably slide this into the root, cash it in, use the misanthropia, and then maybe deploy some eager recruits here. Although I might just want to burn the eager recruit for my 3rd orange. Yeah, definitely want to misanthropia this. It's a big warded boy. That warded prevents it from being damaged or destroyed outside of combat, but this blights it, which still gets through that, so that's great. Sick. Alright, over, under, burn this, do this, which will slowly kill their entire board. So everything on their board that's on their board right now will get -3/-3 every turn until they die. I'm going to go ahead and play Eager Recruit here, which this gains Immortal. So they'll have to attack into this, but then they won't be able to kill it. We'll deploy the other thing it makes here, and then we'll cash this in for a real card. There's another Beimeni Falls, so we can start gaining life that way. OP control. Yeah, the Misanthropia does a good job of that too. Just like dealing with anything. The mix of answers this deck has lets you clean out most opponents. Yeah. Yeah, the cheap card draw is great. Just the axis on which the engine in this deck works is just so incredibly satisfying. And like I said, it really highlights some of the unique things that this game does. So there's 2 eager recruits. The deck tracker is super useful in this deck because you can use it to estimate what your odds are to get a specific unit with Root of the World, and you can know exactly like when you're down to just 1. All right, so Oil Field's actually a great pickup here. So we'll go Oil Field here. Actually, I'm going to Oil Field on the right, which gives me an added permanent resource because I deployed it over a desert. So I'm going to have up to 11 here now. And then I can go ahead and deploy the Goliath's web here, which gives me 2 back if I want. I think I'm going to slide... Am I going to slide this? I think I want a Goliath web here, which lets me cover these while I have 4 resources left total. I think I'm going to go ahead and clay effigy here to draw a card and then cycle it in to draw a unit. Then I haven't burned anything yet, so I think I want 1 more orange. That's a perfect draw. And then let's deploy Eager Recruit here to gain 2.
Reporting.
And then, there's 1 Eager Recruit left in my deck? There is. So I'm going to deploy the other Eager Recruit over here, and while this oil field is occupied, all my minions in my hand get reduced by 1. So this is now free to deploy here.
I have a mission.
And then I can spend a card, spend my last resource to draw a real unit with it. Sick. And then I don't want this to attack, because this is blighted, so this is going to die on their turn anyways. So all their minions were blighted, so they go away. And then I probably want to deploy this other Beimeni Falls over here, and then keep this area of the board filled up a little bit too. You're fine. Missing that they were blighted a couple turns ago is pretty easy to do. Yep, return a minion from their boneyard to their hand. And gives them a large monster here. I have my twins, thankfully. There's another twin in my deck. Yep.
There are always consequences.
So this can stun something, and it can make their spells cost less. I wanted to craft this deck. I'm trying to figure out which mythics are lower priorities. The twins are lower priority. Scion of the Pride's lower priority. You need Get an Angel, and you need all the warded minions. Those are the ones you can't budget. Magnuson's lower priority. Get an Angel plus warded minions are ones that are like not optional. All right, so what do I want to do here? Am I misanthropiaing here? I kind of need to get Bella off the table, I think. This card generates a lot of powerful card advantage, and notably your warded units don't die to your own angel, which is important. Let's start here and see if I hit my angel, speaking of. Did not. I guess I could try again. I get 2 shots with this. Oh, panic. Oh, panic. Oh no! Oh no, I timed out. I've never timed out before. Oh, that's... So something that's super awkward here. I guess this is my first very real piece of feedback for this client. The animations there timed me out. So like... That's kind of frustrating. So, like, I know my timer was going there and I could hear it going, but, like, I could have dropped this, and, like, while I was waiting for this to pop up, I couldn't play it out. Like, it was still, like, animating through. So I feel like my timer shouldn't be going down while that animation's playing. Yeah, it should add timer, add to my rope or whatever you want to call it. Probably gonna lose this game because of that. I wanted to deploy twin here and deploy this here. This is free at least. This costing me a threshold's a big deal. So like, ideally, if I would have had an infinite time there, I would have gone deploy this, cash it in, deploy the next one. That's a good one. That kills their thing there.
Yes, yes. Brilliant.
Muere.
Are cards created ephemeral? They are.
Reporting.
I wonder if they're setting up to like misanthropia us again here. That could be. They also could be setting up to like combo us. With the volition combo. I think I'm just passing here. I could deploy demolition speedway here and then play raziel out though. Yeah, I'm gonna do that really quick. This card, someone said this was replaceable early. I haven't gotten it early yet to really show it, but this card's super good in this deck because it stacks the top card of your deck, which you then immediately draw with your power. So this card is super powerful in the context of this deck. Yeah, I missed 2 points of damage if I was gonna do this here. You are correct. You are correct that I missed that. So let's activate the divination on this and stack web on top of my deck. Then let's cash this in because it's gonna die. Then let's slide this over and cash this in because it's gonna die. Then let's attack and let's attack. I'm just gonna go twin here.
Muere.
Then I can like put a twin over here.
Duerme.
And then I can bragi. Yeah, let's do that. Throw this demolition speed. Oh, that's awkward because I drew the top card. Now there's not a guaranteed enchantment on top. Medium decision. Yeah, this deck basically only plays long games, so things that are not good in long games are generally just not good in this deck. Yeah, people don't beat this deck in going long. Our deck's the best at going long.
There are always consequences.
I think I'm just misanthropiaing this board. Well, Sapo's warded, so you can't Sapo their Sapo. Does deck have a tough time against aggro in your experience? It depends on where in your deck. It depends on where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, is basically the answer to your question. So it depends. It depends on where, how soon you can find your Beimeni Falls. And it's possible I'm supposed to just be playing 4 Beimeni Falls just because that card's so important in those matchups. Eager Recruit's actually great here because it lets me go play this here, gain 2. And let's drop this here and cash it in for another unit. It's my favorite aggro deck. What's it called? It's a good aggro deck. I really like, this one. Okay, let's do this.
Reporting.
Sorry, I have a hard time talking and playing this deck. Did I not attack yet with this? Oh, I didn't use this ability yet. Awkward. I'm sorry, I like drawing cards, chat. Have I mentioned that I like drawing cards? This deck does not have the hideout card in it. That impressed me the other day. And that's probably a good suggestion to try, honestly. That's probably a good suggestion to try. How many cards are left in our deck? 11. I've never had a problem with decking before in this deck in my experience. But maybe we're gonna get there here. I suppose I don't have a twin to loop at the moment. And not having a twin to loop might be a problem. So what minions are in my deck? I have Magnus, I have an eager recruit, and I have a scion. All right, there's a Bald Mountain, so that's getting Root of Denialed. So let's just axe that one. These are both dying to Blight here in a second. Hit your face. I guess I could give something. I could give something Frenzy before he goes. You need to start just generating board presence though. All right, that's Magnus. All right, I'm just gonna start taking game actions. Again, just like the animation's killing me here. You're killing me, Smalls, you're killing me. Oh, yeah, that's what I should do. I should have put Root over here and cycled these back in. That's a good suggestion. I like that suggestion. Oh, this is a token. I did see that they were cutting Legacy for Pioneer. I'm not surprised that happened. I'm surprised it happened this soon, though.
Seek wisdom.
All right, you turn into a thing. You slide over here, draw a card. Are there any minions left in my deck? There's an eager recruit.
Targets down.
All right, and then I'm out of orange, but I have yellow. I'm out of resources, though. Have to discard. Discard Sandscape. There's only 5 cards in my deck at the moment. I guess decking could be a concern here. Have they played their second Misanthropia yet? They haven't. What are your thoughts on people shouting for Standard to be cut and for people to play Legacy instead? I don't know. I don't know that I really have a strong opinion on that. Have a 4/4. We keep cycling. Well, I mean, we can deck.
Reporting.
Oh, I'm out of gems. Crap. Didn't do that Awkward. Have to discard. Beimeni falls. I don't need another root of the world either. Oh no, my power's gonna kill me. I have a thunderclap, a demolition speedway, and an eager recruit in my deck. I think we're dead in 4 turns. Maybe. I have another demolition speedway here.
Mission.
So this puts me up 1 extra resource if I play it here, which puts me up to 5. So I can then... Nope. Nope. It only puts me up 1. Nope, I'm dumb. Ignore me. Struggling to close, chat. Struggling to close. Where's my elixir? They have 9 cards in their deck. They have 6 cards in their deck. Yeah, the original build of this deck I had sidecar in it, and it was just like really bad every time it came up, and you'd like cycle into it and it just wouldn't be good. You're like hoping to draw a minion that does something. This is like the first time I've gotten close to decking with this deck since I started playing it. So I'm not really sure that that's necessary. So I get to like get an angel here, and like this hits them for 10, and then like I can cycle get an angel back into my deck. I think I just play serpents then over here. And then my last card's an eager recruit right now, so I'm gonna do that and get eager recruit out. And then I can go eager recruit over here.
Reporting.
I don't know. I've played this deck a lot, and I felt like sidecar was losing me more games than it was winning me. Yeah, I can start cycling Scion of the Pride to start making 4/4 spirits. And like we're drawing the angel next turn, so like whatever they put out, if they don't kill this or deport it, I'm gonna get to attack through unless they have another warded thing, which I think we're through their warded things. Yeah, hideout could definitely be okay. Like that gains them 2. And like currently, depending on what they play out here, I could also just Magnus and like deal 2 to everything. And like I can Magnus plus Scion make a 4/4, and then this is 18 between these 2. There's a Bald Mountain. I have another Rune of Denial to deal with the Bald Mountain. Yeah, damage doubles up each draw you take that you're going to take that you don't have a card to draw. So you take 1, then 2, then 4, then etc. All the way on up. Sure. Do I need to kill Bald Mountain here, or can I just clap them? If I clap them, they take 2. I also just play Magnus here. I think I just want a Magnus and then clap them. Or Magnus and then do the Sign of the Pride like I talked about.
Yes. Brilliant.
So then I do this here. And then I cycle this back into my deck, which means I draw it again right away. And then I turn this into a 4. And then I hit them here, I hit them here. And then we pass. Like they're at 6. And again, like this game's been tight because I didn't have like some kind of combo kill in my deck, but I do feel like I don't really need that. I think to Heaven and Hell has a Heaven and Back as a place. Maybe that's a card I actually haven't tested in here yet. That's just like a good card that I should probably test. They haven't played 2 Misanthropia yet this game, right? So like that could happen to me this turn. That would not be stellar. This is whenever you cast a spell, it gets +2/+2, so they're going to deported this, sure. They give this Volition. Am I going to get full combo killed here? So, I'm not giving him a thumbs up. Fuck that deck. I'm a salty bitch. I should have played the Rune of Denial. I should have Rune of Denial the Bald Mountain. Like I had the Rune of Denial in my hand. I could have killed the enchantment. I didn't play around it. Yeah, taking 40, I really, that's the one, that Volition's like a giant stain on an otherwise really good game. Like that game, like, we played a ton of micro decisions, just like none of them mattered because they got to 48 me in one turn at the end. So, yeah, they've talked about that they're probably going to be readjusting that card. I hope they do it sooner rather than later. So, and again, like, I don't know, like, if I know, I know it's coming, right? I should have played Rune of Denial, and I should have killed their Bald Mountain. But it's just like, I feel like that type of experience that Volition generates there is very similar to, it's very similar to the feel bads that Magic has that are very common. And I feel like this game doesn't tend to have those feel bad moments. And that's it's one of those, it feels like that's something that I'm used to happening in Magic that doesn't happen here. Would killing the mountain have stopped that? They still would have hit for 24. So they would have been able to play the dragon, and then they would have volitioned it twice, and they would have only hit for 20. Because it would have gone to 6, or it would have gone to 8 to 10, and then attacked me twice, then I would have killed them on the backswing. Yeah, the mountain card that I'm talking about, and the reason why it's a combo is this reduces their cost by 1. So it takes Volition and turns it from a 2 cost into a 1 cost. Yeah, they also had to bounce my 10/10, right? So like all of that had to go right for them. I'm really disappointed in myself that I've never considered to Heaven and Back in this deck, speaking of, 'cause it's just like a busted enchantment. So I am going to cut a Sandscape and put it to Heaven and Back in here. 10 out of 10, that seems absurd. Yeah, they held the combo waiting for that, and we were just winning that game by a lot, and it was my game to lose, and I chose not to have that. I also think that the only reason I had counterplay there was because I was aware of I should have been aware of what their deck is trying to do, and that type of experience where you're a new player who plays a really long game like that, and suddenly you just get punked out of a game where you were super far ahead. That's one of those things where you're just well, I'm off of this, right? I think that's the type of experience that when that happens to someone who's playing the game for the first time, they're gonna walk away and go do something else. Yes, yeah, it stays reduced permanently. So I believe does the modifier on the card keep if I shuffle it back into my deck? It does, right? Yeah, I agree. Volition should probably cost 3 or more. Agree with that. Or it should. Another way you could balance Volition is you just make it so it can't give people rush. Like, the fact that Volition is pseudo rush is, like, really silly, in my opinion. So this is an excellent suggestion, and I'm disappointed that I didn't think of it myself, but I'm excited to try it later. I'm going to be done for the day. I've been live for 10 hours. I'm going to roll one more ad break here before we finish up so I can meet my quota. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with some magic into magic. I'm not playing the PTQ. I'm just going to play deck Q deck, so see you tomorrow for Modern and Pioneer.